The National Transportation Safety Board is recommending that several bridges in our area be evaluated to determine if they may be at risk of collapsing.
Well, the recommendation comes nearly a year after the catastrophic collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. Jan Carabeo joins us live from the newsroom on what she's uncovered from this report. Good morning, Jan.
Jim and Janelle, good morning. The National Transportation Safety Board recommends that 68 bridges across 19 states be evaluated with what they call a vulnerability assessment. It's meant to determine a bridge's risk of collapse if involved in a vessel collision like last year's deadly collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. So here's the deal. Over the last year, the NTSB identified 68 bridges built before 1991 that don't have a current vulnerability assessment. The NTSB noted that the recommendation does not suggest that those 68 bridges are certain to collapse. Rather, bridge owners should evaluate whether the structures are above the acceptable level of risk. So here are the local bridges recommended for risk of collapse evaluation in our region. They are the Walt Whitman Bridge, Ben Franklin Bridge, Betsy Ross Bridge, Delaware River Turnpike Bridge, and Commodore Barry Bridge. The NTSB issued the safety recommendation to 30 owners of those bridges across the country and asked them to take action.
Determine whether they need to implement countermeasures to reduce vulnerability, report their findings to the NTSB, and if warranted, implement a comprehensive risk reduction plan that includes, at a minimum, short and long-term strategies to reduce the probability of a bridge collapse from a vessel collision.
This recommendation comes nearly a year after that large cargo ship crashed into the Key Bridge, causing it to collapse. 6 construction workers died. The NTSB found that the Key Bridge was at a level almost 30 times greater than the acceptable risk threshold for what are called critical or essential bridges. The final report on the Key Bridge collapse will be released in the fall. Now, we have reached out to the Delaware River Port Authority for a statement about the NTSB recommendation. The DRPA is the agency that manages 4 bridges that cross the Delaware River. We have also reached out to the Turnpike Commission for comment. We are waiting to hear back. Jim and Janelle, back into you.
All right, Jan Carabeo, thank you for that, Jan.